how'd you get along with them?
As best we can. And we can count our blessings that our village belongs to the Sedlitz Monastery. Sigismund thinks quite highly of the abbot, and explicitly prohibited his people from pillaging the monastery's property.
Do you have problems with robbers? I expect it's not completely safe on the roads, eh?
Unfortunately, you're right. But that wasn't the case not too long ago. Nobody would even dare fart around Kuttenberg without the nobility's permission. And today? It's no use talking about it.
If you have any problems with robbers, I'll be happy to help you.
Thanks so much for the offer. I'll keep it in mind. But first, I have to convince the abbot to offer some reward.
What do you know about the Devil's Den?
Why do you ask? Did something happen? Were you robbed there?
Does that tavern have a good reputation?
Its name speaks for itself. All kinds of scum from the area gather there. I even heard the good-for-nothing Hinnik of Kunstadt goes there. The one they call the Dry Devil.
Really?
Take it from me. If I were you, I'd keep well away from that den of inequity. I'll be closing soon.
How can I help you, sir?
This could use some repairs. I'd like to discuss the price.
Very well. Aye, you'll convince me with that price. Excellent. You made a fine purchase, good sir. What do you need, sir?
What's new around here, blacksmith?
That soldier who recently offered us work comes to mind. He was looking for a blacksmith and saying some pretty suspicious things. I don't want to get involved with any soldiers from Sigismund's camp, but if you really need money, try going to see him. Alas, that's all I know.
All right, thank you. I'll look into it. Martha says she needs to have something forged.
Let me guess. Horseshoes for that rabble from the camp, eh? God damn it. I'd rather go broke than do anything for that lot.
So there's a military camp on the other side of the hill here. But that doesn't mean you'll lose your livelihood. You have a wife, a farm, and an apprentice on top of it. I'm sure you can use every groschen.
Well, there's some truth to that. But how would I look? A band of those Praguers beat up our boys in the tavern. Even Pascal got a pasting.
Then I'll forge them. At least you'll have a clear conscience.
Well, all right then.
What about the materials? If those horseshoes are needed in a hurry, I don't want to waste time scavenging for iron.
Indeed. Here you go. That should do for 2 sets.
You silly doggy.
should do it more evenly. This is useless. I should move it. I should heat it up again. Fine. Now to temper it. I'm always hitting the same place. That's no good. Just a bit more and I'll be done. Now I just have to temper it. Here are those horseshoes. 2 sets, just as we agreed.
Let's see them then. These will do just fine. Such a young, hard-working, talented fella you are. Too bad I'm not a few years younger.
You mentioned something about payment?
Here you go. You won't buy a castle for it, but good work calls for good pay. Now, someone just needs to bring the horseshoes to Victoria. Would you do that for me? This backache of mine.
Who's this Victoria?
A girl from the village. She's a bit different. But deep down, a good girl.
Different? What do you mean?
She's had a hard life. Her husband died of the plague a while back, and now she's all alone. She does odd jobs for the villagers here to make a living. Sometimes I send her up to the soldiers with our goods. Why would I drag myself up that hill when she's got young legs and likes going up there anyway?
Fine. Which house does she live in?
It's not far at all. Just cross the stream and you're there. Take care. And good night.
You roast some meat. Praise be Jesus Christ, young man. I'm sorry to bother you, but I must stop you for a moment. Can I have a word?
What do you want from me?
I'm the royal collector, and I want you to pay your duty.
What duty?
The king's duty. Now come here and don't delay. Move it. So, what'll it be? Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Matthew, the King's chief customs collector. I collect dues on trading routes.
Ah, I've been looking for you.
Is that so? Why would that be?
The Dry Devil sent me.
That old bastard is still alive. I thought he'd been executed a long time ago.
He's free again, thanks to us. He's getting his old band together, so they sent me looking for you.
That's so very sweet of him. So he whistles and I should come running to him like a good boy.
So, you don't want to come back then?
For the record, I have nothing against the devil. But I don't want to stick my neck out for fuck all anymore. I'm doing well for myself as my own master. The past is past.
And you're content with robbing poor souls by the road?
Ah, you are quite wrong there. I'm a customs collector, and it's still better than being with the devil.
The devil and Zizka have a higher purpose. We fight for our rightful king.
How? Like capturing nobles and them demanding money for their release? We gutted their people, and they gutted us, but only the devil got the money and the glory. What the fuck is noble about that?
You don't understand. How could you? The devil is a nobleman. Things are dealt with differently by them.
That's rich coming from you. Anyway, you can tell the devil that I thank him for his offer, but after careful consideration, I'm choosing to be a free tradesman.
Well, all right.
Since you're already here, did you pay the duty?
What are you talking about? What duty?
What do you think? To the king! I am His Majesty's chief customs collector.
Aye, and I'm Emperor Charles.
So where's the payment? A royal customs collector's time is precious.
What customs collector? You're just a bandit.
Peace all difference. Those who have, give. Those who don't, take. Cough up!
The devil's counting on me to find and reunite all of his old band.
Why should I care?
What do you think he's gonna do when he finds out his capture was all a setup?
Set up? What are you blabbering about?
Well, I'll just tell him there was a rat in his band that set him up. And I know who it was.
You bastard. No wonder you and the devil are like brothers.
Are we finally on the same page?
Aye. It's bad enough I'm being hunted by the Miskovitz bailiff and the Sukdal captain. There's even a bounty on my head. I don't need a pissed-off devil coming after me too.
You don't say.
Seriously? I'm a bit of a local legend now.
Well, the main route to Kuttenberg runs between Miskovitz and Suchdal. Stealing from traders has made you rich, hasn't it?
More than you could imagine. Their pockets are either full of silver or their wagons are bursting with goods. Kuttenberg is a wealthy town, and the merchants are flocking there like flies to shit. You can learn a thing or two that way. If you want, I can share some of my knowledge with you.
How can I find you?
Our camp is in the woods on the hill by Visuka. It will probably take you a while to find it first. We don't like uninvited visitors, you see.
I'd like to learn something.
What do you want to know?
I'm interested in sword fighting.
I'll tell you some interesting things.
I'd like to learn something.
There's no time for it now. Come back later.
I better not forget about that council assembly.
May God give you help. Excuse me.
How is Peter doing?
Henry, it helped. Peter got up in the morning and went straight to work. I can tell he's still fighting something in his head, though. He looks fearfully to the horizon, but hopefully things will get better with time. It won't go away as quickly as it came, but we'll get through it somehow.
Just keep giving him hope.
I will. You can count on it.
I'm glad I could help. But don't forget our deal. The Thunderstone is mine now.
But the stone helped Peter. We need it, and I'll never be able to afford another one. It'll protect our homestead. And what if Peter's illness returns? Then I'll need the stone again.
The stone has great power, but it's used up all the strength it had for you. Now it's time for it to help others.
You're right. Here, it's rightfully yours. It's hard to give it up, knowing how much I spent on it. That's why I can't give you anything else as a reward right now. But believe me, I'll spread the word of how you helped us around the village.
Thank you. That's good enough for me.
Take care.